Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back. I am on a fun field trip today. I am at Annie's Annuals and Perennials here in Richmond, California. It is a fun field trip that I am super excited to be at, but I'm also kicking myself because I'm only an hour away from my house. And I think it's been a year and a half since I last came here. Now Annie's, they're based out of Richmond, which is San Francisco Bay Area, but they also have an online store as well. And I have ordered from them online, but I'm an hour away. I need to get here because the grounds here are so beautiful, so beautiful. I cannot wait to show you all. The reason why I love Annie's is Annie's has the most interesting plants you're gonna find anywhere. Absolutely anywhere. They have tons of natives, they have tons of flowers. I know it's called Annie's Annuals, but they also have perennials. They have beautiful stuff. And if you're trying to find something specific, they're probably gonna have it here. So I'm actually here because I am looking at some California field sedge, which is a native no-mow lawn alternative. I've been talking about this a little bit with you guys. I actually did a podcast on this with Sarah Bendrick. I'll link it down below. But I'm really kind of leaning into this no-mow lawn that's kind of like this beautiful, wispy, romantic lawn, and Annie's has some of these plants here. So I definitely wanted to come here and try them. And luckily, this is the peak time of year for them here with their display gardens. They're just absolutely beautiful. And then I called them to let them know I was coming, and they asked if I wanted to talk to Colleen, who is the R&D Research and Development Manager and also works with the propagation here at Annie's. Of course, I said yes immediately, and she is the coolest person. So let's go talk to her, and so she can tell us a little bit more about Annie's. Okay, you guys, such a fun surprise. I got an interview with the R&D Manager, Colleen. Let me introduce you to Colleen from Annie's Annuals. Hi, Colleen.
Hi.
Thanks for being on video.
Happy to do it.
So tell me what you do here at Annie's.
So I head up the R&D. I also do the propagation support, so it means that I work with a team of people selecting the plant material that we're going to produce in the future for Annie's, figure out where we can offer more selections that people are looking most for, find some weird and crazy things you're not going to find anywhere else.
Weird, yes.
What we're known for is the rarities. And right now we've got a hyper focus on bringing in extra rarities.
Oh!
More natives, more drought tolerant, but also still sticking with the cottage classics that Annie's is known for.
Absolutely stunning.
The gardens are at peak,
Oh.
and it's something that we spend the entire year developing designs for, implementing, and then 6 months just like pushing.
Yeah.
And deadheading.
But look at how beautiful it is. All that hard work has definitely paid off.
The payoff is huge.
Yes. Okay, so I think of Annie's as such a unique, interesting place. And you're the person who decides what you're going to grow here, right?
Yeah.
How? Just how? That's my question.
Oh my gosh. 20 years of being a nerd.
Okay.
Deep diving into plants. It's my only hobby. It's all I do is go to gardens, go to nurseries, talk to other plant nerds.
Yeah.
As like, you want to be friends?
Yeah, we're totally going to be friends.
Yeah. So it's just searching high and low.
Yeah.
And then it's trialing things. If you don't trial things, what are we doing as a nursery? Right. I want people to grow and be successful. Yeah. I want people to be happy with their gardens and with their experience with individual plants. So sometimes you go through the heartbreak of finding the coolest plant ever.
Yeah.
You bring it home and it fails. Right. Or you bring it home, it doesn't fail, but we can't produce it in the nursery.
Like how so? Like you can't propagate it?
It doesn't like being in forage. Or it doesn't like being in a nursery container. Okay. Maybe it just wants to be high up on the cliff somewhere. Or spoiled rotten in my garden that has really good drainage. Sorry to brag. So we have to trial things, not just in my gardens. We trial them here. We trial them in the gardens here. I send them off to other people's gardens where maybe there's heavier clay soil, because I know most of the gardeners in this area are dealing with heavy clay soil.
Yeah, hard pans, all that kind of stuff.
We want stuff that's going to work for them, or at least to be able to say on our signage, hey, yes, if you have heavy clay soil, maybe grow it in a pot.
Is everything done by cutting propagations, or do you guys do seed?
No, we do a combination of seed and cutting.
Okay.
And
you grow everything here?
We grow everything here.
Wow.
With the exception, we seasonally do finished products. So we do stuff in 1 gallons and 5 gallons that we bring in from other local growers.
Okay.
Growers that we absolutely love what they do, but we can't do what they do.
Okay.
So like the proteas that we bring in some other products, especially California natives in larger containers. We bring them in at the end of summer and then through fall and maybe the first weeks of winter. It's the prime time to be planting the California natives then. And because we have space in the nursery and because sometimes people want to start with something a little bigger than a 4-inch.
Right. Yeah.
Who am I to tell them not to?
Right. They want to give you the money. Let them give you the money.
Yeah. And also, I get it. I brought home 5 gallons this weekend because I was like, oh man, I know this plant goes really, really slow. Yeah. And I just want about a year's head start.
Yeah.
So
take my money, please.
Give me my 5 gallons. So now's the time to come into the nursery if you're looking for a little bit of a head start and you want some weird stuff that we don't grow in-house.
Yeah.
So it's a great time to swing by.
So talk to me a little bit about fall planting. So we're here in California, right? But not just here in California. There's a lot of places where fall planting is key.
It is optimal. And I think, I came from Southern California originally, so I don't know if anybody knows this more than a Southern California. It's like you gotta stick with your fall and winter planting, especially with California natives. Because what you wanna do is you wanna get those plants in the ground when there's extra moisture because it's heading into the rainy season.
Right.
The soil temperatures are cool, but they're not as cold as the atmospheric temperatures.
Right.
So super cold up top stops the plant growth. Warmer in the root system encourages additional root growth because you've got water and warmer temperatures. So as it appears that the plant isn't really doing much at all, in fact what you're doing is you're establishing a really healthy root system that is going to be able to better support plant growth come the warmer season. So you're not going to have a super stressed out plant.
Right.
And it's key. Also, it's a more pleasant time to be planting.
100% agree.
Easier for the plants, easier for the growers.
Yeah.
It's just, I wait all year for this time because I was just like, I've been planning, I've been sketching, I've been pulling stuff out.
Yeah.
There are plenty of things that I plant during the summer.
Right.
Especially plants that can tolerate a little more water. But when it comes to my natives, when it comes to my really drought tolerant plants, especially my woody plants, I'm going fall planting.
What is the thing that you're most excited that Annie's has here?
So again, right now,
I know
I'm hyper focused on the California native,
which is exciting. Which one are you excited about?
So it's crazy. It's not that often that we get to bring new ones into the nursery because it's not like you've got teams and teams of people developing new exciting California native annual mixes. So having 2 new ones to introduce this year is like, I'm tickled.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we have the Gilead Tricolor Alba, which is a white one.
Yeah, I've heard of the Gilead Tricolor.
So this is a white one with a yellow throat.
Oh my gosh, I know someone who's going to be so excited about this. He's a native guy.
And when I tell you that the fragrance on it is outstanding.
Oh,
like it
fun.
It's musky, but like still sweet enough. Like it's got a little hint of like honey undertone to it. Wow. And the yellow throat and the cleanness of the white, it makes it glimmer and glow.
Okay, so if somebody was coming here to Annie's for the first time, where would you point them?
Oh, but
like we can't get it all, right? But where would you point them to start off with? Because this is different than a normal garden center. This is not a normal garden center.
And what that starts with is the gardens. I think the gardens that we have here is one of the things that makes us exceptional. So don't skip out on the gardens.
Yes.
You drove all the way out to Richmond.
Yeah.
You made the commute.
Yeah.
Clock an extra 30 minutes just to spend in the gardens. We do our best to signage the product in the bed so you can go through and take notes and make a list of the things that you want. And then what you're going to want to do is keep an eye out for the chartreuse book stands because on each of those there's going to be a folder that has our plant locator in it.
Oh, okay.
So if you come ready with a list and you know what you're shopping for, head to the book. If you want to choose your own adventure, take what you've seen in the gardens and just go hunt out on the tables.
Yeah.
The signs are great.
Yeah.
We put so much effort into making sure that We tell you how to grow things. We give you a really good, accurate description of how they bloom, how they grow, what you can expect them to do in your garden.
Yeah.
So, and we like a good tee-hee-hee. So some of them are a little ruckus.
Okay. As in...
But like tame enough for kids.
Got it.
Yeah. There's some like light innuendos.
Did you write those, Colleen?
Some. I will say the naughtiest ones were written by Annie, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Abby, Annie?
There's like two where I'm just like, oh, I'm blushing.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna see if I can find one.
Yeah. One of these days I'll sneak in one of those.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, I always do the choose your own adventure style.
Okay.
And so we have some signage overhead that'll give you some directions as far as like where are the ground covers, where are the California natives, where are the rarities.
Yeah.
So you can use that as guideposts. We also have wonderful staff members
Yes,
who
you guys do.
love plants, super enthusiastic, happy to help.
I have to say, I had a whole plan coming here. Like, I had a plan, and it's all gone. It's all...
No.
It's all, like, I am totally straying from that plan just because of your inspiration. So, a huge, huge thank you. If you guys are, like I said, if you're anywhere near Annie's, you got to get your butts down here because it is absolutely the coolest place in the world. Let me show you more right now. So a huge thank you to Colleen for taking the time to talk to me. I've already talked to her a little bit more about a garden tour, and she said maybe in spring. It's so funny because I'm trying not to pressure her, but I really want to see her garden. So now I want to take you all around and show you the display gardens here at Annie's. You heard Colleen, they plant so much stuff so that we can come around and we can see what the plants are actually going to look like in our garden. Because here at Annie's, they sell most of their stuff in 4-inch pots, really small pots that they've just propagated. Let me see if I can show you one. And if you look at them, it doesn't look like much. It's like, oh, okay, it's a little plant. But what it's going to turn into is absolutely amazing. So this is what you're going to get from Annie's. You're going to get something like that. But what's cool about this is that you're going to plant this in your garden. It's going to root in and it's going to grow into the most beautiful plant. And you can see what it's going to look like from these gardens. Okay, so I am going to try and show you all everything, but the plants are so tall and so huge, it's hard to show it all in one shot. So let me go through. They have a couple garden beds. I'm going to start with this one. Right when you walk in, I mean, oh, look at this. So they do like to label everything so that you can look at it and say, oh, that is a beautiful rudbeckia. Which one is it? It's Prairie Sun. So then you can go over here and you can pick out the Prairie Sun rudbeckia and get it into your garden. The cool thing about this place is they have the most interesting varieties that you can find. I mean, super, super interesting varieties, colors that you might not have heard of, or like I almost say like Colleen and her team hand pick. Look at the butterfly. Sorry, there's monarchs everywhere. They handpick some of the most beautiful, beautiful plant and say, okay, this is a good one. Tiger's Eye is a really, really good viola. This Gomphrena. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hold on. Ah. One thing I really like is this greenery that they have covering their rocks, and it's called Falkia repens. That's really interesting. I love that. And then this Royal Sunset Rose is just making everything smell, absolutely incredible. So I am taking notes because the other thing I really, really like about Annie's is the combinations that they have. So you can see they have Cafe au Lait Dahlia right there. They have the floss flower, the ageratum, right underneath it. They have the sunflowers popping up the top. And then over here, they have the lime green nicotiana, which I've actually bought from here before, and it's absolutely beautiful. And this combination is just color. I love it. Okay, so let me take you, I'm like in this first island still. There's so much to see. I want to turn the camera around and show you what's behind me, but I'm trying to be calm and show you what they have here. Now, I met Rose. She is the gardener that kind of takes care of these display gardens, and she definitely does a good job. She does a lot of deadheading. She does a lot of hand watering. She definitely takes care of these plants to make them look as good as they do. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, yes, those are dinosaurs. It's a very interesting garden center with interesting decor. You'll see more as I go on. It's very, very cool. Okay, coming over to this bed. Here's Cousin It. I absolutely love this plant. I always stay away from it because I feel like it's a really expensive plant because it's such a slow grower. But I am drawn to it every time I see it in a garden. I think I just need to bite the bullet and plant it. This is a new one for them. This is called Peachy King Agastache or Agastache. Look at how beautiful that is. Colleen said that she was absolutely obsessed with it. And if Colleen's obsessed with it, you know it's good. I hope you can see this as well. I hope it's coming across on camera as absolute the beauty that this garden is. This is so beautiful. You know how I'm always talking about how I really like orange and purples in my garden? This is what I'm talking about. These combination of colors where they're really saturated. There's lots of contrast and it's just colorful. This is what I want my garden to look like right here. This is what I want my garden to look like. So coming over here, you're starting with these beautiful sunflowers that they have in back. How do they do that? How do they get them to look so perfect? I'm checking behind to see if they have more behind it. Here's some osteospermum, really beautiful. Veronica Contreras Pelargonium. Interesting, that one's beautiful as well. Fireworks Gomphrena. This kind of looks like the tall version of Truffula Pink Gomphrena. Isn't that fun? What is that smell? Something smells so good. It's got to be the rose back here. Now they are a little bit more coastal, not a little bit, a lot of bit more coastal than I am. So they're going to be able to plant things during the summer that I can't plant, like snapdragons like that, or even osteospermums. It's just too hot where I live to have all of those. But the zinnias, the sunflowers, gomphrena, there's a lot of things, the dahlias, there's a lot of things that I definitely can plant and it would be absolutely beautiful in my garden. So I am definitely taking notes. Even the marigolds with the zinnias, with the black magic or mystic fantasy dahlia. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love it. Okay, then in this bed, they've made this little inset so that you can actually walk in and see what's deep down in that bed. And I think that that's really neat because it just gives you even more planting room that you can actually walk up close and smell the flowers. Back here, they have a little archway that they have some clematis growing on. I don't see the name of the clematis, but I'm sure it's pretty. It's not blooming right now. What is blooming is this buddleia. I mean, it's called Grand Cascade, and I don't know what that is up there. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but is that not beautiful? Whatever that is. One cool thing is I really like the steps that they've taken, right? They have this tall pink one, then they have the buddleia, then they have the mystic spires, then they have, I don't know, coreopsis? I don't even know what this is. I should know what that is, and I don't know what that is. Cosmos? I don't know. And then again, the dahlias and then lantana, and it just goes down from there. You see how they've kind of just stepped everything up? Cool. Here's a look from this side. So you can see they have their nice tall cosmos that they have staked up. So this is what I want to look at. How did they stake it? They have 3 stakes and then everything is lashed to the stakes. Okay, I'm going to remember that for my cosmos next year, just so they stay up nice. Okay, coming over this way, they have raspberry lemonade nemesia. Look at how beautiful that is. And it's growing really well. Old Berkeley fuchsia. Oh man, I might have to get some of that. And then coming this, I mean, it just keeps going. And there's so much to look at and so much to see. And you can see exactly what the plants are gonna look like. Dichondra Silver Falls, can't beat that. Love that. This black, is it black and blue salvia? Because this is amazing. Salvia Amistad. Okay, it's Amistad salvia. Oh, that is beautiful. I might have to get that. Colleen said that it's a really good time to plant your salvias. So I might have to get that. I had a whole list of what I was going to get. And that whole list is just, it's gone. What list? What list? Okay, so I think it's time to start shopping. Like I said, I had a list. I'm definitely getting the California field sedge, but there's a couple more things now on my list as well. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna pick out the stuff that I want, and then I'll come back and I'll show you everything that I ended up getting. just love this place. I came for one thing and ended up getting a whole bunch of other things. It's just so much fun to walk around here and just to dream. They have all these really neat cards that give a backstory about the flower or the plant, which is, I just love that. I love being able to know the story behind the plant, why the certain variety is super cool, what makes it neat, why I want this in my garden. So I got some really neat stuff. I'm stopping myself because I could just keep going, but super fun. Let me show you everything that I got. So some was from my list, my original reason for even coming here. Some was from the display gardens in the front, and I fell in love, and I literally went around looking for specific plants to find. And then some other ones I just saw and thought, yeah, I think I want that in my garden. So the first one is the California field sedge. Again, this is the one that I'm going to try and do for a lawn alternative. I kind of like how it kind of falls over like that, and it's supposed to tolerate well, it's supposed to tolerate pets well, and people walking across it really well. And so I'm just going to start with 16. I got 16 of these, and each of these are going to get 3 feet wide. So I'm going to start with this and see how it does, and then if it does really well, I'll keep filling in with more and more of them. But I wanted to try it out first and see how it went. Otherwise, for this no-mow native lawn, you can get sod. You can actually get sod of this stuff, and it's a mixture of a couple of these different grasses, and you can get the sod laid out in your garden. But I want to try just planting plants. Might be a little bit cheaper, and we'll see how it works. So I definitely got those, of course. Then I ended up getting this Oenthera, and it's basically an evening primrose, and it's supposed to smell amazing. So I got this one, and I got this heliotrope alba that smells absolutely incredible. It's so funny because I saw this plant like 2 years ago, and it didn't smell. The plant that I smelled didn't smell. This one smells amazing. So I definitely want it. My friend Deb gave me a really, really great idea for my secret shade garden that's no longer a shade garden. She said that I should possibly think about doing, or her idea was to do a fragrant garden. Everything that smells amazing. And I thought that was just such a good idea. So having the evening primrose that supposedly smells amazing, having the heliotrope that I absolutely love, and then I'll just keep collecting different plants that smell really good, and I want to put that in the shade garden or the secret garden, because how amazing would that be to be able to walk in there and just smell everything that's amazing. So that's for that. This one just caught my eye and was absolutely beautiful. This one is a begonia. It's a Santa Cruz sunset, and it gets 2 by 2, so it's pretty small. I think it would do better in a pot, but I think I might try it just in the ground. We'll see. I have to decide about that. This one is that Amistad salvia that I saw in the display gardens. It just looks beautiful. It's going to get huge. Absolutely huge. How big is it going to get? Oh, it doesn't say. I'll put it on the screen right now, but I know it's going to get big just based on what I saw. But it's really pretty, and I want it. And then the other one, well, actually, both of these I saw in the display gardens. This one, first of all, is the Cascade, Grand Cascade Buddleia. I might go and switch a different one. I grabbed this one because it had all the blooms on it, and I wanted to show you all. But this one seems kind of dry and kind of old, like rooted in. So I might go get a different one that doesn't have blooms on it. And then here is an old Berkeley fuchsia. Isn't that beautiful? This is going to get 5 foot tall, 4 feet wide. It's supposed to be heat tolerant. All of these are supposed to be heat tolerant. So I think that they will do well in my garden. Here is a Thunbergia that I saw. This is Rose Sensation Thunbergia. Just beautiful. And I think planting it now, by next year, it's going to be incredible. And then finally, I know, I just had to. This is the Hairy Balls plant. What is it called? Family Jewels. I just had to do it. It's so cool. It's such a cool plant. Yes, it's a funny name, but it's such a cool plant. So I think I'm going to be putting that in my garden as well. So yeah, this is my haul from Annie's. I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to Annie's for being so welcoming. They're always so nice here, and they're always so willing to like talk about plants. After I finished talking to Colleen off camera, we were talking about plants and gardening and her garden, and you know, I was asking her questions about all the different plants and how she does it, and it's just so interesting. It's so much fun. So huge thank you to Annie's. I'll put all their links down below. They are having a fall festival. I'll put a little shot up on the screen right now. They are having a fall festival, and I think it starts this weekend, and it looks really fun. They're going to have food trucks, and it's going to be like a whole party. And I just love that this is go time for a lot of these garden centers, because you don't think about it. You know, you forget that fall is actually a really big planting time and a really big time for these garden centers. So if you can make it next weekend, they have what looks like a really fun fall festival. I'm going to talk to my family and see if we're available. Probably not, because we probably have soccer games, of course, story of my life. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.